Streams, the live streams had a lot of work to do lately. So since Wednesday, I believe. But back to it now. Let's take a look. Last time we visited our workflow for Pilot Bob to see if we can have these pull requests managed. So I think we did that. Let's look at our event model. We did add the instructions for the contributions at the top here. So update the EM in the first commit of your slice branch, name that branch, make the PR pull request for the change. Oh, did I edit something? Okay, let's add this. Let's finish this writing. I think I deleted some of this. So, oh, I see. We are in our branch here. This is our main branch. So we're using work trees here. So we should go back out here. This is our main branch. I opened up this one here. So if you're not familiar with work trees, go ahead and read up on those. But here, let's make sure that this instruction makes sense. So update the EM in the first commit of your slice branch. Name the branch to reflect the command or state we are working on. Make a PR for the change into main branch so that others can see that you're working on that slice. Then implement the slice and then make a PR for the new version of the branch to complete the work into that's one thing I was thinking offline, whether that is done immediately to, I think for open source projects we just put it into main. In your own company it would probably be a release candidate, so you could control kind of what features get shown when to what. Again, that might be almost instantaneous if you're doing extreme continuous delivery of putting stuff out there immediately for your clients to see, your customers to see. But for now, we'll do that. So get status. How is this up to date? I just changed that. Okay, there we go. A get commit. I made the PR instructions clearer. Okay. So that should let people know how to do this. And now we can go back to the project, the part we were working on, which is this request unique ID. And of course that should already be in the main branch as well. So we're looking at the main branch version of this, and I wanted to skip this part. Hopefully we can get to that part today, but I just want to add this in progress. And I was thinking a little bit about our estimates, how we do them in event modeling. Kind of had like a very easy rule to follow. Get a fixed price for every blue and green square that we have, so a rectangle that we have. So all the commands and or state changes and state twos, these blue and greens, have a fixed cost for them. However, if they're trivial, if they're pushing data through, especially if it's something like a subscription or a lookup for like a exchange rate or something, I think those will be thrown in for free. I don't want to put that as an official statement yet, but I think we're to the point where some of these things, and the reason I want to do that is I think some clients get a little bit of a sticker shock when they look at the average cost of all these and the average count of them. So what I want to do is to make sure that non-trivial things are the ones that are being counted. So in other words, these slices here have some given when thens, which would allow you to say that, okay, it's non-trivial. Whereas something like generating a unique identifier that really has, it's really functionality that's provided by your platform. It's not something you're implementing. So again, this is just managing, capturing that information. There is no given when thens here necessarily, or if there are, they're quite trivial. So we want to exclude those from our estimates. And I think in order to automate this way of estimating, we will basically look at any blue or green boxes that have given when then scenarios, or potentially will have given when then scenarios. So again, this is a really good example where going back and forth between your client and yourself can kind of go back and say, does this really require a wizard which is going to capture so many different, it's going to really handle the data with kid gloves, really doing a lot of validation along the way? Or can we set the naming, the dates, adding the rooms, and adding the time slots into one page, and that just does everything, right? And the difference is significant because, that could be as small as 2 slices, whereas currently it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 slices. So we're talking about 75% cost reduction in that work. So these are really important things to understand how this affects projects. So definitely if you're doing fixed costs and you have clients looking at what you're willing to do the work for and how much it's going to cost, be mindful of excluding some of these trivial things, like in this case, this unique conference identifier generator. It's really a UUID that's provided by your platform, or at least a library that's available for your platform, your standard library, or a very well-known library that's used in that ecosystem of your tech stack. So do that and exclude those. So for today, again, if you're joining on Discord, you can chat if you like. I have the chat enabled, either from Twitch, from YouTube chat, our Discord channel, even LinkedIn comments and Twitter comments are also showing up in this chat. So if you have a question about what I'm doing, or something in general to do with event modeling or event sourcing, let me know. So yeah, today we're working on this page. And I think I would also like to get a menu put in place. So we'll see if we can add that as a cross-cutting concern and make sure that it also works across all the other slices that we've implemented. So maybe last week we went in and added this menu, rudimentary menu. We don't have some of the functionality spec'd out in terms of practitioners. What they see sessions that are, they see a menu that's a little different. They don't have this ability to do the setup, and they also have a different view of the schedule, because I believe here we can change the schedule around as a organizer, whereas here we're just as a participant of the event, we are just looking at the schedule that the folks were doing. So let's the organizers were putting together. So they're arranging the topics here. You can see the workflow as they pick the topics, they drag and drop these here, and then you have everything viewable by the participants. And so by the time the sessions start, you know which rooms contain what topics. So so yeah, let's get back to just coding. Since we haven't done a lot of coding recently, I've been talking about the design, which is important because we need to know what we're doing. But let's take a break to do this, and then if we have time, do the menu or finish up my previous slices here. So, but this is the one I will be working on. Request the unique ID for the registration portal here. So we have this initial screen. We should be able to finish something all the way up to here. A lot of this type of stuff is really about showing information flow and can actually be done in the same web request. So again, the information flow doesn't necessarily reflect your implementation. It does show that we have something important here, this identifier that glues all of the interactions for one conference together. So let's continue. So in this case, we have create conference URL. So create space sessions dates, create space confirmation. Did we actually, I'm not sure if we put that in. Let's just look at the log of what we did last. Add new page and continue to this page from time slot slice, right? Okay. So we did do that. So so create conf ID. Oh, and that's again, I'm looking in the wrong spot. This is our work folder here. So we're doing that in here. This is again the workspaces. Be mindful where you have them, especially if you have them open in the same IDE. I may switch to having a separate IDE open for that or not. I'm not sure yet. I kind of want to rejig all of this so that there is a main work tree and or at least another level of indirection here, another folder, so that I don't get distracted with all of the files that are in the main branch at the top level here. And it's something that I could explicitly, have to expand here to make sure I'm in the right directory for what I'm doing. Anyway, so yeah, we got to be in here and look at this, because this is where the views are. So here we have the time slots. We changed this so we can actually go in and continue. And then once we continue, yeah, we should be able to just go to this next page. And here we can generate this conference thing. So action is a post to submit this. And as I said, we don't have some of the authentication implemented yet, to make sure that someone that grabs this known URL, they're not going to be able to do that. So there's a simple way to do things like that, which is just adding an event by default to that. So we have events here, and we don't have an event store. That's interesting. So yeah, we should probably have an event store directory that's provided by default. I think it's actually created by default here. So if I do remember correctly, if the event store directory is not present, it'll make one. Let's see here. I forget whether I did that. This is part of our infrastructure that we're hopefully touching less and less. Let's just write events. Get all events. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually doing that. So event store path is here. I guess I could do a bunch of work here that's unrelated. I should have it in a different branch. So let's stick to getting this done, and then we can move on to something else. So this also does try and keep you focused on that. So again, down here we have our rooms and times. So rooms is something we need to add, I believe, to add the room stuff, which we haven't done yet. But time slots, I think Manuel Ortega did that. And so here we have this end generation here, which I'm not sure why that is in here. That is not supposed to be in here. So that was not going to work. So get add dash a, get status, diff page. I just want to make sure that that's the only thing I changed. Yeah, that does not belong here. Get commit remove HTML in wrong place. I can push that up to our branch. And so our brand new page is actually this. So create conf, get all events. So open space name. We keep calling this all the time. It's a good. I don't know if I actually want to show the name on here. Do I even have it? I don't have create conference URL and all that. I mean, I could have that in here as a name, but I actually don't need it. And the other thing that we have is this ID that we're trying to push forward. So that's not a cleanup piece that we want. We fixed that. Pilot Bob added the redirect way of making sure that posts don't get reposted on refreshing. So we can get rid of this ID being passed in. So we certainly don't need anything in here. In fact, I'm not sure if I can omit the entire model. And then, yeah, let's see if that works. I'm paranoid to see that it's saved. I think it is saved. So get diff. Okay, so we should have a create conf ID URL. Let's just run the tests first. Yeah, we're still all green on tests. So now we do just run the Node app, and let's just interesting. Okay, so we do have an error, which is good because that is positive that it's event store, right? So we're not creating event store by default, which I think I kind of want to do. So let's look at the workflow where you think that something like supporting work is not in your feature branch and you want to bring in. This brings our cherry pick workflow. Let me just see if I can log in. It's our restream. Okay, so I think we're still good for that. Okay, I'm logged out of Restream, but it seems to still be working. Let me know if your chat is not showing up into the stream. Double checking here. just to see if our streaming stuff is working. So live stream chat. Yeah, so someone, Luca, is asking that. Yeah, there is definitely this idea that you want something for nothing. That if you really squeeze in all the slices into one, yeah, you can make a very complex uh, piece of logic. And it's really a back and forth. There is no right answer to this stuff. This is really about collaborating and being transparent about what's being worked on. And if a client does say, hey, make the entire application work in one web request that has all these different given when-thens for basically running everything, that's not going to work for anyone. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to get people to work on that for next to nothing. B, they're going to get a very complex piece of software that's going to be highly coupled and really gross to maintain and extend. So this is really about a forum to discuss those things. And yeah, we'll look at the, those, we'll do a version 1.1 of this where we move all of the setup of the open spaces into one page just to show like the difference between having everything done in one slice versus multiple ones. And we can refer back to this example when we're discussing this with clients to say, hey, yes, you could get this done for, a quarter of the price, but it's going to be a much more complex piece to understand both for your end users potentially or not. Maybe, this might be a good example of where, it's not warranted. It's really a dumb kind of cruddy application at that point. And so the amount of behavior is kind of trivial. So it's a, real point for not having multiple steps there. So I didn't see that come up on our chat. So I'm gonna try and log in here, just because. I'm not sure why I'm signed out, but I am missing some conversation with you guys. So I'm just gonna sign in here. And just give me a moment, and we'll continue on fixing this because we did assume that there is an event store directory. So I actually want that in. I'm actually not sure where I'm going to put that in. I kind of don't want to check whether that directory exists all the time. I might want to make sure it exists when the application is started. I might want to add it as part of source control, and there's a .gitignore file, empty file in that directory, so it gets saved there. That might be the easiest thing to do. So we'll see. There's like three, at least off the top of my head, three different ways to get rid of this initial file not existing. And so it's good that we're working with these work trees because we force ourselves to really start the application from scratch at each of these things. And so yeah, we'll see. Let's take care of that in a second here. Okay. I'm hoping this is my right account for Restream. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I should be able to see your chats now. I'm just going to say hello. That is working again. Yeah, so I forget where you yeah, that was on Discord, the live stream. So but you did it from Twitch. Okay, so thanks for looking at this on Twitch. Chat is working again. Say hi. All right. Excellent. So I'll keep that chat in the background just in case. And let's get this fixed. So what I wanted to show you, okay, I can't really test my application because I don't have supporting work of the default. Where do we have it here? Right, we don't have the default event store directory, which is where all the events get stored. And so I would like to actually have that in the main branch. So I can cd dot dot or cd minus. I can flip between branches and working directories as well. So sometimes you used to have to do checkout, like git checkout dash, which is really cool for most projects because it just changes your entire work directory. But that becomes an issue when you have some stuff in ignored folders, for example, inside that. And maybe in one branch that is not ignored, in another it is ignored. So you start to get some inefficiencies and some friction when you're doing checking out alternate branches in the same work directory. So you kind of kill two birds with one stone by being able to do cd minus, just using the local change directory functionality to change between that and the other. What do I have changed here? Again, this. So one of my pet peeves here is every time that I look at this, I get, oh, I think I moved that guy. So that's my fault. But anyway, that's fine. So if I do a git diff, it'll show me, yeah, there's geometry changes and more geometry changes on this, which is, yeah. So I moved that label to the right. I think I moved a few other things to the right. So I'm just going to add this and commit it. Cleaned up EM. And that's fine. Push. So what I want to do is make sure that I have this what's it called, the event store folder here ready every time I'm working on a new branch. So one way to do that is just to add a folder. So it's interesting because in here we have a whole bunch of stuff. We kind of want to ignore everything in it, but we want to make sure to add the top level. So let's see if AI can do that for us. So again, chat's working. If you have questions about this, chime in and I'll hopefully answer them for you. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, so we can see more. Okay, so here we want to do add event store dir. Actually, we kind of have to remove it from the from our .gitignore file. So it's added down here somewhere. Right. So we don't want to ignore it anymore. Get rid of that. Yikes. We really wanted everything in here. Okay, so we don't want this either. We want anything that's that. Okay, so we just cleaned up our git ignore. Let's do it all as one. I kind of hate that I added some of the other cleanup. Let's do that. Let's actually add it as a separate cleanup step. So we should have only, okay, untracked file. We definitely don't want to commit that yet. So we'll do a git add patch. I don't want this patch as one whole thing. I'm gonna say split. I don't want this, but I want this to be gone. I don't want this explicit ignoring of all of this. That's garbage. So yes. So now get diff staged should show only what I'm pushing in, and that's this cleanup. Okay, so I can do that as git commit m cleaned up ignoring working tree file path. Okay, so that's good. Now we want to take care of the adding of event store. So usually what you have is echo star, but into event store dot get ignore, and a dot get ignore, an empty dot get ignore file in a directory is a way for you to commit empty directories in Git, because Git is a content tracker, so there is no concept in Git as an empty directory. Directories are literally the keys of values. So if you don't have a value on the other side, there's nothing that you can do about that. So that's one of the interesting things about Git. Some people see it as a flaw, but a directory is really just an attribute of the contents, not something that exists on its own. So anyway, hopefully that explains a few of the Git issues for that. And oh, okay, we can't do maybe that's what I did, is I did a star. I need a backspace for that. So maybe that does it. So cat. Okay, so we have that. And if we do git add event store dot get ignore, following paths are ignoring. I see. So I think because I didn't commit the changes, or I didn't stage the changes to the modified get ignore file here, change is not staged. It's still using the old version of get ignore. The minute you add the get ignore file to staging, to the index, then it takes effect. So let's try that. Git add dot get ignore. So add the changes we added here. Oh, did I actually change that? Let's see. Add dot get ignore, because I don't think maybe that's the problem. So yeah, we're not ignoring event store anymore. So the get diff, it should, yeah, see, event store is taken out of there, but it's still being ignored because this version of the .get ignore file is not added to this, to the index yet. So if I do a git add .get ignore, git status, it should see something else, right? So I see that as that. Git add event store dot get ignore should work now. Nope, still doesn't. I think it's because I don't have event store added as status. Okay, interesting. So git commit remove need to remove the needs to ignore. Okay, so keep event store dir as empty as part of source. status. Let's see, git log stat. So that removed that in here. Now let's give ourselves some more room. I'm working with a much larger font than usual. So git ignore cleaned up em. So the only thing we have here is removing the ignoring of that. So git okay, so I can't add the directory event store because of what I have in the event store ignore thing. So get cat event store dot get ignore. Yeah, I have all those events in there. That has, okay, so maybe if we just ignore all of the JSON files in there instead. So echo star.json and put that out to event store dot get ignore get add. Okay. So somehow it's still not ignoring all those. So git commit, because right now I have that. Ignore JSON file and event store. There. Okay, but it's not ignoring these untracked files. Cat event store dot get ignore. Oh, why is that in there? Oh, I know why. Because it's stupid. I forgot to this star actually matches here. I have to escape it. That should do it. Git add git status. So now it's the modified thing. So I should probably combine this with the previous one because I'm trying to do this as one thing. Git yeah, I'm removing the ignoring of event store directory. At the same time, I want to actually add the .get ignore inside the event store directory to get rid of all of that. Now, interesting. Can I just ignore everything in there? Would that still work the same way? So git, if I echo this, would that give me the same effect? Git status. Yeah, so it's still ignoring everything. I don't want to just ignore the .json files in case I have some part of my application doing some other stuff in there. Ooh, that's not .json, might be .xml for some things. Who knows? I just don't want anything that's in Event Store to be ever committed. And the only thing I'm committing in there is the .get ignore so that the Event Store directory can exist. Okay. So git log oh, interesting. So oh yeah, that's horrible. I didn't want that. I wanted to remove that. And the previous one was just cleaning that up. So I really didn't want that JSON version of that. I kind of want to have everything as one thing in here. So let's just check out that version. So we're 2 versions back, right? Git log one line. I want that one as one commit here. So let's just take what we have in the current work tree as what we want, and that's 2 things back. So we'll reset. Actually, it's just 1 back. So we'll do a git reset, and it's not hard. We want to go back to not origin main, but one after that. So just one before where we are now. Okay, so we're back on this commit, but we have nothing to because we have that. Okay, so the git ignore files are causing us a lot of issue here. So the only thing we did was remove that. So I guess this is, I really do want to add that. So we want that added, and we want to git commit, and then we want amend and no edit. Git log -p. So we got rid of ignoring of the event store file, and we added the .gitignore file, basically ignoring everything that's in this folder forever, in effect adding the event store folder to source. Okay, good. So we can push that up. Now, since that's the main one here, I can cd here. And let's get this back down because we're going to try and run our application again with the proper stuff working here. So if we get cherry pick, this is how the cherry dash pick, yeah, cherry pick main, we'll get that commit in here, right? App.js is still modified, but we also have keep events. Oops. We also have this keep event stored as empty as part of source. So that cherry pick got that in here. And so here we only have our app.js stuff. And if we open up this, we see that we have event store, which is good. That's what we wanted. And now any branch that we start from main will have more of the infrastructure, such as a default event store. So because we have this working, we should be able to, I mean, we have a directory, we should be able to run the application now. We go here and refresh. Oh, right. So the stupid .getignore file doesn't get ignored. So we should probably also add another piece to our event store infrastructure, is to maybe just read JSON files, because right now it's taking the .getignore folder, sorry, the .getignore file, and trying to parse it. So we don't want that. We can go back to our main branch, and again, this is going to be part of kind of should have been part of the previous commit, but not really. The previous commit was about making sure that this folder's here. It did add the opinion that there's a .getignore file in here. So let's so this is a good case for why you don't want this in source, and you'd rather maybe have the check for the event store directory when you run the application, and if it's not there, just create the folder and keep it ignored. But we went down this route anyway. Let's just see how far it goes. We'll remove it if it's causing too much pain, but I think we should have it settled at the end of this. So back to the app. In the main part, app.js here, we want, when we're looking for all events, get all events, return read file sync NPF. So we have all events here. I don't know, get last event we're not using anymore. Should probably get rid of that, but it's interesting why we're not using that anymore. Could get rid of it. Let's do this as part of the event store cleanup. I like less code to look at. So get all event file names. Oh, we're not even using the file names then. Okay. Let's get rid of that as well. And then here we want the function chat only read JSON, read files with JSON extension. Okay, so that hopefully did it. Let's see. Read sync event surpass filter ends with JSON, and then the same thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's accept. That's cool. So yeah, we have fewer lines of code. Get rid of that. And now we can run that. It's running. And yeah, we can create the space. So set name already exists. Good. Spaces 5. Continue. Seems to be working. Let's test our new path. Oh, actually, we don't have the path here. So we just fixed stuff here. So we need to also, yeah. So this is working, which is good. So let's get out of here and get status. See what we're at. Yeah, get diff. We got rid of that, and we got rid of things that are not JSON. So okay, git commit or git add, git commit. And this will be read only the JSON files in event store dir remove unused helper functions. Okay, let's push that up. In order for our branch to work, we need to cherry pick that. And of course, because we have current changes in here, which we're working on here, which is that, right? So we can just do a git stash. And then we can do the cherry pick again. That should get our changes. And then we can do a git stash pop. And then we're back to where we started. So git diff, right? But we also have in here our new and improved. Those were our changes for seeing the new new web page. But we also have, as you can see, our improved functionality here where we're only reading JSON, and we got rid of the other functions, the other helper functions. So our event store functionality is really about writing and reading, which is kind of encapsulating the simplicity of event sourcing, right? This is, essentially this is all you need for event sourcing right here, like these two functions, which is, if anyone's telling you event sourcing is hard, tell me what's hard about these two functions, right? Yes, there are implications about having to add caching and all sorts of things to make sure you're not rereading files too often and things like that, but that is a secondary concern. So now let's just double check that we are running properly as intended. So run this app. Okay, we have nothing here, right? So, which is interesting, because we have an empty event store in our work tree, which is good. That's kind of what we want when we're working on new stuff. We want that. So, but let's just test our generate ID. Or the create conference conf ID. Yes, so we got that. Now clicking the button should go to a post of that. Yeah, it cannot post generate conf ID. So we go back down here to where we have our change, and we have to do a post to get that. So app.post, and here we want this. Oh, and it gives us a little conf ID. I don't know if we want that. Maybe. I guess that's kind of nice. Yeah, that's not bad. And the confirmation. Why is that? Math random to string. I think we want, we don't want this. We want the UUID. So we should chat control K. Use UUID lib instead of math random. Okay. Do we actually want to replace the dashes? Kind of like the dashes in UUIDs. Seems extra code. So we'll accept this, but we are going to remove that. And why is it giving me a short version and 2 uppercase? I don't need this extra code. Do I really want uppercase stuff? I don't think so. I don't think we did any uppercase stuff with other UUIDs. Did we? UUID? UUID v4. Yeah, like, why would we want to start making them uppercase all of a sudden? Okay, that's good. So we should have, so this creation, if we go back to our event model, so we're requesting this, and we are, oh, I see, we wanted to automate this with this particular generator, just to show the mechanics of this. Okay, so we will just do a request on here instead. Let's follow our design and not actually create it. This logic shouldn't be here. We really want to store, we have commands, so we need a command, new file. We want this to be request conf id.js. Okay, and see, we have the CD naming convention. I kind of like it. I don't want to refactor this other stuff, but I do want, I really do want to keep that convention here. So we'll rename this file as having a CD. Maybe we'll do a lowercase d, request conf id cd, tab, no. No, I want this to be like names. Yeah. So let's see if it'll be smart enough to create that. Control K, create request conf id cd dot class. I think that's all I need really, is ID and timestamp. Did we have ID is just fed in? Yeah, so I think that's fine. And did we actually do that for others? Let's see. Time slots handle Post add time slot command. Yeah, we're making commands, right? Okay, so same thing here. We don't want that. Control K. Create command. Okay, so that's really good. And yeah, that's not good here. There is no validation, so Control K, create. Okay, now we need an event. So we want this almost exactly the same thing, except in events. Create new file. And we want this to be requested. Again, we don't have the word event at the end of these. Requested conf, which I want ID event.js. And then Control K, make event for Control V, generate. Yeah, okay, that's good. And so now we want to be back here, create event from command, no validation necessary. No, use requested event class. I guess it's not doing that, so whatever. Const event. It had it. So, okay, it seems like Control K has limited scope in terms of what it sees, and the tab completion version of the AI in here does have a better, yeah. So now it's redirecting to confirmation. Okay, perfect. So I think that's all we're doing, and let's rerun this. How does it create conf ID? And if I do generate, cannot post generate. Oh, because we don't have the post. Let's submit. Oh, generate conf ID. Did I? Okay, mustache has the wrong path, I think. Generate conf ID. We want create conf ID. Create conf ID. Generate conference ID. Yeah, bad naming. I guess I'll go to fix up the mustache file. Where is it here? Oops, wrong one. Up here, views. Create conf ID, handlebars. Create. This should be create. That's good. Save that. Rerun. I think it would have, without rerunning, it should have worked. I think. Yeah, refresh that. Generate conference ID. Request conf ID command is not defined. Okay, so it's just about importing the right stuff. Control C. const time slot. Yeah, okay. So here we should have, yeah. And here we should have, yeah. And now can run that. Module not found. Require events. Did I put in the wrong thing? Events. Yes, I did put it in the wrong thing. Haha. Again. Or did I? App. Views, commands. Yeah, this is at a level higher. See, it's hard to see. I gotta event store event. Yeah, these are in the wrong place. Event store. So here we have the events where it's supposed to be, and commands where it's supposed to be. So that's, yeah, I really need to move stuff up. Really organize this better for work trees, because again, I shoved this into the wrong thing. I want to close that. Events, I want to close that, and I want to move these. That's awful. So commands, that goes here. Yeah, and then the event, that goes to the events here. Okay, good. So yeah, definitely have to take care of that. Okay, so it's working now. And I want to go back here. Cannot read properties, reading replace. $31. Something in that code. Oh. Event timestamp. Okay, we probably don't have event timestamp. Probably. So our event, yeah, it has timestamp with a capital. If we look at that, timestamp is lowercase. Okay, so let's go back, rerun it, back, generate console ID, invalid status code. Oh, it's so the redirect is a problem. So where we have our app, this is the new code we have here. That should, yeah, these redirects. Redirect sessions. And yeah, so all right, so we just do that. Yeah, because redirect has a status thing. I think we're not posting; it's just redirecting. So, that was an issue with that, but we fixed that. So, hey, Ubi, good to see you. I'm gonna have to drop off soon, but okay, so Ubi says it's still creating the conf ID and the post handling function. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get rid of that. There is no conf ID right now. It's just a request to do it. So I think we got it. But thanks, Subi, for pointing that out. Yeah. Let's see. So that should have worked. Let's put that in here. Create space. And error, go back, generate ID, cannot get, okay, good. So at least we're, okay. Create conf ID confirmation. So it cannot get that because we don't have that page yet. So we're kind of done. We do have, if we look at our event store, we are generating these events properly now. Requested conf ID for event, which is good. And so now we just have to make sure that we have a conf ID being created automatically. We can put this into our state view directly without any let's see if we can do that. Control C. But I think I want to be done with this slice because it is storing this. So that's one of the things that we want out of event modeling is being able to say that, hey, well, we are actually finished this part and we want to have the next part to be in progress. So let's mark this as, yeah, the other thing that's going to be a problem is resolving the conflicts with changes on the event model, because there is no easy way to add things there. I think if you don't move anything and just add one more element, it may be something that can actually be resolved in a merge conflict resolution window. So if I'm not moving stuff around and I'm just adding, this rectangle here saying that I'm, I'm working on this other part here, then yeah, maybe it'll work. But for now, yeah, see conference IDs. We have to create this right now and then create this part of the processor and then create the other side of the processor that actually creates these and then populates this. So we got, 2 more slices here because we have the providing of the identifier and then we have the flipping of this. Oops. Great, that's going to cause issues now. Pasting anything in here is going to cause issues. Yeah, so we're done with this part. Let's mark that as done. I'm going to try to change this as little as possible. Atom done. And then I'm going to look at the code for this. And then, of course, change this color to that. And of course, same with the text in here. apply, and you know what? Let's undo that. Let's copy this. Let's redo. Let's paste here. And here I will do in progress. Actually, I don't need to do that yet. So Control Z or Escape, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Because that's now done, and that is part of this get status. Events, that, untracked files, modified that, that, and we don't track that yet, which is fine. So we should be able to add everything. Creating requests for conf ID. Finished. Implementation. Okay, git push. This we want to save. So git status. Why is that not saved? Oh, right. It's in the other one. So let's open up this one, because this is really where it's done. Oh, look, I didn't even change that. Didn't correct that. Whatever. Let's change this to be done. Change this to be green, and the text to be green. And we're done with that slice, and on to the next one. So that's done. So git status. In this one, we have this event model change. So git commit or git add commit m marked slice done. Okay. So now we can create a pull request for this. So git pr create, oh, gh pr create. Is that what it is? Create a fork, blah, 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 blah. Skip pushing the branch. Where should we push the blah, blah, blah? Yeah, of course. Title, sure, request unique ID SC. Slice state change, yes. That is what it is. Body, enter to skip, submit. Okay, so I have a pull request now. So we're kind of done with this branch for now. I can go back to here. Now what do we do here? Oh yeah, we changed this. I kind of don't want this stuff. Git stash. I can close that. Close that. I want to go. Okay, I think we're done with one slice. I'm going to try and do more of these tomorrow, but I got plans for today, so I got to get out of here. So good to see you, Ubi. Hopefully this makes sense to people. I'm going to just get this pull request approved. Let's see what state the event model is in over here. So we still have this in progress. So pulling this, approving this PR should get this going. So if we do a GitHub PR list, I should see mine. So now get GitHub PR merge. What was it, 15? Not mergeable. Right, so this is where we can forget about GitHub helping us and we just use Git ourselves because, yeah, the conflict's going to be in this nasty event model, right? So if I do a git merge and then we tab to do this request, local branches, right? Want that. Conflict in event model dryout. So it'd be interesting to see what that actually is if we edit it, right? So oh, where is that open with? I want to open it with the merge resolution thingy. Conflict resolution stuff. Why can't I do that? Okay, it is conflicted. Why can't I just more actions? Okay, I'll close it. I know it's conflicted. How does that work? If I double click on it, yeah, no diagram file, whatever, fine. Yes, I know it's causing issues, but I want to resolve these conflicts. Maybe I'll do that offline. But yeah, that's what I was talking about, having these issues. Maybe if I open with text editor. Okay, so this is, yeah, this is some of the stuff where we're going to have incoming change. I don't know why this, oh yeah, that's for the branch name, right? So resolve and merge editor. Come on. Doesn't even do that. That's the only thing that it did? Okay, no, I thought there was more. Okay, there's two of them. Okay, good. So I'm done. Okay, I can just manually edit this. I don't care about what it's doing here. So I'll take one side of this. Is all about just where the viewport is. It keeps causing issues, so I'm going to delete that manually. And then go to our next merge conflict, and this is where we want the done instead of in progress. It's got too many changes here to make sense of it, so basically accept incoming change instead. Oh, so that is the resolve and merge editor. Okay, so accept incoming change, which is done, and that's that. And I think I can just save it and get, now if I open it, it should open. Yes, and it should show that I'm done with this. Yes. Okay, so perfect. And even has like this edit to move this a bit as done. So okay, so git add, git status, both modified, good. We have all these new things coming in, that's fine. So git commit or add, we add that to resolve the conflict, and then we have everything done. So now we can just do a git commit, and it should have the message already there because it's a merge. Right quit, Perfect. And because it's already merged, we should be able to take care of that pull request. First of all, that stash is no longer needed, so git stash clear, git push. So it's pushing all that, and now we can do GitHub PR merge 15. Further merge delete branch locally. No. Perfect. Git GitHub pull request list state all should show that. Yeah, so I have the mark work as started. You can see that this is a slice and that it actually is finished here. Yeah, maybe I should have had a better name for that pull request, that the slice is finished. So anyway, if you want to try this yourself, try out this workflow and let me know. Good to see you, Ubi. I got a jet, so tomorrow I'll keep working across all of this and hopefully get to the other slices for the automation, but then finish up with adding rooms, and then the menu it should be in a much better state to actually finish this app. So anyway, thanks for joining. I'll be back tomorrow. This is always fun. I always regret not having time to do the streams because it's quite fun to go through this with you, and hopefully you can learn something about event modeling, event sourcing, some things about Git, and other things such as proper branch management and related topics. So thanks again. See you tomorrow.